All right, let's just jump right in. If you're involved in agricultural research, I've got a question for you. What would you do with a piece of a $300 million pie? Seriously, today we are breaking down one of the biggest grant programs in the United States, the AFRI Foundational and Applied Science Program. This is a huge opportunity, so let's get into it.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the mission behind that massive number. Then, we'll explore the 6 main research areas they're funding. After that, we'll figure out if you're eligible, how to actually handle the application, and finally, wrap up with what this all means for the future of farming and food.
Okay, first things first, let's really get our heads around the incredible scale and, more importantly, the purpose of this program.
Yep, you're seeing that right. $300 million. That's the estimated total funding for this program in fiscal year 2026. This isn't just pocket change. It's a massive federal investment aimed at tackling some of the absolute biggest challenges in food and agricultural science today.
So what is AFRI anyway? Well, it stands for the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative. Think of it as America's flagship, #1 competitive grant program for this entire sector. It's designed to bankroll pretty much the whole spectrum, from really fundamental, deep-dive science to applied projects that get that new knowledge out into the hands of people who can use it.
So where's all that money actually going? Well, the program is super strategic. It's built around 6 key priority areas, or what they call frontiers, that pretty much cover the entire agricultural world.
First up is plant health and production. This is everything to do with advancing crop science. We're talking about boosting yields, fighting off pests, and even dreaming up brand new products made from plants.
Next, you've got animal health and production. This area focuses on, you guessed it, the health, nutrition, and genetics of all kinds of animals, livestock, poultry, even fish and aquaculture.
The third frontier is one that connects the farm directly to all of us: food safety, nutrition, and health. This is so critical for making sure our food is safe to eat and for helping solve major health issues related to our diets.
Fourth on the list is bioenergy, natural resources, and environment. This is all about sustainability, funding research into managing precious resources like soil and water, and building what's called the bioeconomy.
Number 5 is where things get really high-tech: agricultural systems and technology. Think about engineering, robotics, data science, all the innovations that are completely changing how we farm.
And last but not least, we have the human side of the equation: agriculture economics and rural communities. This research is all about making sure farms can stand business and that the rural communities they support can thrive.
Now let's look at how that money gets sliced up. As you can see, every single one of these areas is getting a serious chunk of change. You'll notice plant and animal health are right at the top, which kind of makes sense, right? Those are huge industry priorities. But here's something really interesting. See that $46 million for cross-cutting programs? That's super important. That money is set aside for projects that don't fit neatly into just one box, encouraging researchers to team up and tackle big, complex problems from multiple angles. Okay, so you've seen the research topics, you've seen the money. Now for the million-dollar question, or I guess the $300 million question: can you apply?
So, who actually gets a shot at these grants? The answer might be a lot broader than you think.
The list of who's eligible is incredibly long. Of course, you've got your traditional land-grant universities and agricultural stations, but it also opens the door to for-profit companies, small businesses, nonprofits, and heck, even individuals. This really shows that the program's goal is to find the best ideas, no matter where they come from. Your best bet is always to check the official request for applications, the RFA, for the full detailed list.
All right, let's switch gears and get into the nitty-gritty, the application itself.
You know, AFRI's pretty flexible. They offer different kinds of grants for different needs. You have the big, standard grants for major research projects. Then there are workshop grants, which help fund scientific conferences. And then you have phase grants, which are all about building up research capacity. Things like seed grants to help new investigators get started, or grants to buy crucial lab equipment.
Okay, listen up, because this is maybe the single most important thing you need to know about the application process. If you only remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this: the deadlines are all over the place. It is absolutely critical to know that they are not one size fits all.
And this chart really drives that point home. Just look at this. A proposal on plant knowledge is due December 4th, but one on animal reproduction, that's 2 weeks later, and something like pollinator health is a week earlier. Then you have programs like rapid pest response that take applications all year round. The bottom line is you have to find your specific program in the RFA and circle that date on your calendar, maybe in permanent marker.
So when you take a step back from all the deadlines and the dollar signs, what is this all really for? It's about nothing less than building the future of agriculture.
I think this quote from the USDA just says it all. This funding isn't just for science's sake, it is a strategic investment. It's about solving real-world problems for farmers and protecting our national supply of food, fuel, and fiber. It's science in the service of everyone.
So let's do a quick recap of the big points. We're talking about a massive $300 million opportunity here. The research is spread across 6 major frontiers, plus those cool cross-cutting programs. Eligibility is super broad, which opens the door for all kinds of innovators. And, one more time for the people in the back, the most critical detail to watch is the varying deadlines.
And that really brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. With an opportunity this big, aimed at solving our most important agricultural challenges, what breakthrough are you going to pioneer?